Hi, everybody. Welcome to Friday Coffee Chat. So, I have spent a little bit of time trying to find a way to decorate and bring on the October Spooktacular energy, despite the fact that we are renting a space. Oh, I forgot to turn on my, I have these little skulls from the Dollar Tree and they glow. So, and their eyes change color. So that's super fun. Hi, everybody. So George and I spent a little bit of time. We spent a little bit of time trying to kind of decorate a little bit. There may be more coming, but this was what we were able to get. All of this stuff, I have a little black one too. All of this stuff came from the Dollar Tree for $1. So I think it's pretty cool. Yes, and the lighting looks so much better today. Thank you for that, Jennifer. I am live from my MacBook because I bought a new computer while we were on the road. I was trying to get everything done on my Razer laptop, and I just was wasting so much time trying to figure out that, how to get all my editing done and trying to do Mac and cloud for my formatting and other stuff. And I was finally like, you know what? I'm just going to go buy a Mac laptop. So I treated myself to that, and it was very exciting. So I decided today to try to set it up for the live stream because the Razer Kio, which is the webcam that I was using before, kept making everything look blue, as you guys could see. And it was so frustrating to me because it's like I'm well lit, everything is looking good, and everything looks blue. It's a very strange. But yeah, it's kind of a fun little treat to myself, I guess you could say, but it's also, work thing. So it was nice to have, and I'm excited to be able to format my books because I was like, you know what? If I actually finish book 12 while we're on the road, I'm not going to be able to format it without a Mac computer because that is what my software only runs on Mac. So I was going to have to figure things out. And then I have that BookBub that I told you guys about. And there's some things I want to change with that. So there's lots of reasons to get it. But another reason is that now I can go live with the webcam, which Macs actually have really good webcams. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay and everything else. Laura says, I was surprised you didn't have a Mac for the road. I know I've only had a iMac, which is like this big, and there was no way that was fitting in the car, but a laptop fits quite nicely. I have just the 13-inch MacBook. So thank you guys so much for the compliments on my eye makeup and stuff. I did bring my purple, I don't know if you can tell, but I brought my purple Mac eyeshadow that I love so much. And speaking of Mac, but a different kind of Mac. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have fun with this today because I feel excited for October. Let me know in the comments if you're excited for October. I love this time of year. It has a special kind of energy. It has a really exciting energy to me. And I just feel like it's such a fun time of year. Maybe it goes back to being a kid and having the excitement of a like costumes and getting to dress up. Plus, I was always the kind of kid who was interested in crystals and witchy things, but in my small town, it was not appropriate to dress witchy or talk about witchy things or anything like that when you were outside of the month of October. So this was my time to go. Plus the weather is super nice, and at least here it is, and it's just a fun time of year. So so that is what we are celebrating right now. So I literally just, the only way we could really decorate, because I didn't want to have to tape things onto the wall, was hanging things from a curtain rod. And I think it actually turned out pretty cute, though I want to add more things if we can. But all of this stuff came from the Dollar Tree. So you can actually get some pretty cool stuff. This little wicked tombstone here, I bought some stuff like that, I think from Target last year, that were like $5 or $6 a piece. And this was just $1. So, it's pretty cool. So yeah, they do have some fun decorations this year. They already have Christmas stuff out. So if you're a Christmas person, you can go crazy at Dollar Tree already. So that's pretty fun. But yes, I saw that I think Rider on Wheels asked if I'm using the MacBook microphone, but I'm not. I am using my Rode microphone. You can see it here. I have it. I'm sitting on a kind of coffee table, I guess, and I have the drawer pulled out and it is sitting on the drawer. So I have it plugged into my MacBook with a like a I don't know how to explain it. It's like an attachment that allows me to plug in a USB. So I was thinking, since this is our first coffee chat in this new house, and it's the first coffee chat for Spooktacular, obviously we're not full mode Spooktacular just yet, but we will be doing similar type of Spooktacular to what we did last year, which will be, there will be like 14 days, 13 days of events inside a dongle. Is that what that is? It's a multi-port. So it's a multi-port USB attachment. I don't know. I can plug in 4 USB things because the MacBook does not have a USB port. It only has USB-C. So that was a surprise, I guess. I had to buy some extra things to make it work. But what was I saying? No, I lost my train of thought. Darn you, Angela, and your dongle word. It is such a weird word. The guy at the hotel, when we were plugging everything in, said that they don't even use the word dongle anymore because it's too funny. So it was, they called it something else, but now I can't remember what they called it. But anyway, now I don't know. I totally lost it. I lost what I was going to say. Oh, thank you, LA. So 13 days of events that we're going to do are going to be similar to last year. So we'll still have some things happening here live, and we'll also have other like daily posts going on my blog, in the Coven, and probably in the Discord server. So it's, it's pretty cool. So mine is not actually a docking station. It's just a thing that plugs in, but it's not a dongle either. I don't know. They call it a multi-port. So we're just going to let that go. Dongle sounds like it should be inappropriate. Yeah, it does actually. So I thought it might be kind of fun to bring in for the Spooktacular and show you everything, if I can pull it out here, that is inside my little witchy box here. So I brought several things with me on the trip. I didn't mean to break you. Yeah, yes, you did, Angela, you did. I brought many things on the trip that are kind of like for my more spiritual type stuff. So I thought that I would share some of those with you, like which crystals I brought with me, what other types of things that I brought for sort of spell casting type things. I don't really do, like, I guess it sounds kind of funny to say spell casting exactly, but I do that. And for me, that is my spiritual practice. And it's fine if that is not your thing, but it still can be interesting to pull from that. This is sort of my way of staying grounded and of staying connected during this time, because I feel like this time in our lives has been, obviously it's been an upheaval, but there have also been a lot of things like attacks coming toward me in a lot of ways that I won't go into because I want to keep things super positive here. But I am definitely feeling a transformation. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but it's hard to put it into words when you're going through it. I'm sure that when I look back later, once I'm through this and on the other side, yay, 111 people, that's a lucky number. I feel like when I look back on this from the other side, when I've made it through everything else, and all these kind of tumultuous times, that I will have more clarity on it than when you're in the thick of it necessarily. But I can definitely feel that there are transformations happening in my life, and that I am being, like, I think I've talked about this in terms of sometimes in your life, you can feel the whispers, or you can hear the whispers of change on the wind, that you're being moved in a new direction. And sometimes everything will fall apart so that new things can come together, and that you will be asked to change in the process. And I am going through a time like that. And so there's a lot of things going on. And some of it is a reminder of my own strength. Some of it is a reminder of my need to stay flexible and to be open to whatever may come our way, obviously. And also, some of it is a move toward being, oh, it's so hard to put it into words and be super clear on it. When I journal on it, I think about it, but it's hard to explain it to other people. But it's just this feeling that there are there is a need for me to get to a place where I can be joyful and okay and feel 100% whole with myself as I am exactly now, regardless of anything anyone says about me or any type of criticism, that I can be joyful despite how much money I'm making or which house we're living in, that I can be whole and worthy just sitting, on a borrowed chair or whatever it is. And I feel like this is a time where I'm stepping into that. And maybe it's because I have my 45th birthday coming up. And so I'm feeling that. I think like every time, it's not exactly a milestone birthday, but it's like halfway through my 40s. And I spent so much of my life thinking about how to get to where I am right now with my career, with fans, with writing books and wanting to get my voice out there, but also wanting to have babies and being told that I couldn't for so many years, wanting to travel or wanting to find the love of my life. And I spent a lot of time in my life working toward that and seeing, like, wrapping a lot of my own worth into that. And I have accomplished a lot of those things, which is really, really awesome. But I think sometimes what you realize when you go through those transitions too is that your joy has to come from somewhere within you, I think is the best way to put it. That there are always going to be outside things that are going to be tough. But if you really want to change your life, you have to. I'm having such a hard time verbalizing it. But if you really want to change your own life, you have to find that joy and that decision to love yourself above, um, loving and wanting to please other people in that way, if that makes sense. I did see AGM's comment. I didn't want to bring it up for privacy, but I just want to say that it is a new beginning. And I have been in that same new beginning. And life got so much better afterward. It's like sometimes when things aren't in full alignment, then you know that it is time to change. And sometimes that can be scary because change is really hard. And even if it's a change you asked for and a change that you want, it doesn't mean that it's easy or that you're not going through hard times. But yes, I think, Rana, that is a big part of it for me, is figuring out where those boundaries are for myself. And I know that it's a part of it is like when you put yourself out there and your face is there and you make all these friends and you know everybody, and you put yourself 100% on the screen, or you share so much of yourself, it for some reason makes people think that they can send you really negative criticism and tell you how to live your life. But that's part of the boundary, is understanding that I am allowed to love myself as I am, even if other people disagree with what choices I make. And so that is something that's going on for sure for us, as one of the things that's going on for our family and our lives. And Daniel says, how do I juggle between homework and writing time as a student author? This is something definitely I talk about a lot on the HB90, because I'm juggling. Oh no, I missed something, I think. I'm juggling homeschooling, and there's a lot of things to juggle, but you have to just learn to manage your time and separate, to say, this is the time that I'm going to do this, and this is the time I'm going to do this. Because you could let your homework time, I mean, you're going to have these responsibilities, and you could let your homework time expand to take up all your time, but you have to say, okay, this is my non-negotiable time that I'm going to get my work done, and this is the non-negotiable time that I'm going to be writing. So yes. Oh, yes, Jennifer, I'm so sorry to hear about your husband. I think I commented on some of your Facebook posts, but I know you're heartbroken, and my heart goes out to you. I'm so, so sorry. I cannot even imagine. It's very, very sad, and I'm very sorry that happened. So today we are going to talk about we're going to talk about my crystals. And I am hoping maybe that some of you out there that know crystals better than I do might be able to help me identify some of these, because I had a few candles that are those like 7-day candles that were from House of Intuition, and they have crystals inside of them, but I don't know what they are. And so I want to know. And actually, one of them is not here, but you guys might be able to help me identify. So what I brought with me was this box. So when I think I mentioned this to you guys, that when I first went through all of my stuff and was trying to pack up all my witchy things to take with us on the road, I had like 5 times more things. And it was like, okay, I'm going to need an entire suitcase just for my crystals. And this is kind of ridiculous. And definitely paring things down to a smaller box or a smaller set of stuff was really, really hard. Now that we're on the road, it is, we're so glad that we have less stuff, but I think we still have too much in some ways. But it's difficult because everything doesn't have necessarily a place, you know? So I have been trying to keep things in like a small box or whatever. So this is something I think that George got for me for yesterday. For last year's anniversary. Is that when you bought me this? I can't remember, but he had ordered this and several other things from a handcrafter in like, I don't even remember where. Do you remember where?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, he's listening to a podcast or something. Never mind. He has no idea. But anyway, this was like somewhere far away in another country, and of course shipping was all wonky and stuff like that. So I think it was last year or the year before, and it took like 7 months for it to come, but it is so cool. So it has like the Ouija board planchette, it's got the crystal ball and the tarot cards with the runes, and then it has the candles and the lady's hands here, and that is so cool. And so I took like what was an entire suitcase and basically drilled it down to this and one other small box. Yes, the Ukraine. Thank you, Indalia. That's so true. I was trying to think, but I could not think. You guys know sometimes my brain doesn't fully work on when I'm live, because it's like I'm trying to read and think at the same time. So I have multiple things in here. So I have used, when you open it up, it has these little compartments here. So it has 2 long, deep ones, and then it has 6 of these small compartments. And even though this little stopper goes above, when I go like this, it kind of goes down. So that makes it sort of fun. So I have been using as much space inside this thing as I can. So I'm actually using this little cubby that comes, I can't really show it. Let me see if I can hold it better. This little cubby in the top here has been holding several of these little cards that I like to keep with me. And so I'll show you those real quick. So this one is one that I always have with me. And this is the goddess Fortuna. And so she is someone who represents wealth and success and abundance, as well as good luck. And so I thought that good luck would be important to bring with us, as well as this is just a card. Someday I want to get a statue of Fortuna. My money mindset mentor, Denise Duffield Thomas, recommends actually having a Fortuna somewhere in your house just for good luck and for money abundance and things like that. But I have not found like the perfect actual statue. So I just have this card of her that I carry with her. So there's a little prayer on the back if you want to use it. But I thought, with us driving and other things like that, it's good to have good fortune and success with us. And yes, I have my dragonfly key that Renee sent to me in the mail. Was that last year or the year before? I can't even remember, but it says, I am the dragonfly rising on the wings of unlocked dreams. And so I keep this with me because it not only reminds me to keep my joy front and center, but also just reminds me that I do have a community behind me of amazing people. So this card I got from a seller on Etsy, and I can look up the link if you want. but it's literally just a laminated card, but I bought it off of Etsy because I wanted to get one and I didn't want to print someone else's image. So I have this, and then I have a couple of different cards. So this card is from I think maybe the other card. Oh no, it's here. This one is from Aluminum Love subscription box, and I'm not sure which Oracle deck this is from because it doesn't tell me on here, but I thought it was so great because she says that when she sends out the boxes that they are chosen intuitively, like which card you get is chosen intuitively. And this one came right as we were realizing that we were going to have to move, and it's gliding through currents. And it says, with a different approach, you will glide through a situation with grace and ease. Going inward and bringing your understanding, perspective, or behavior into flow will help your dreams take flight. And I just thought that was nice, that message of go with the flow, glide through things with grace and ease and don't hold on so tight. So that's a good reminder. And then the other one that came in her next subscription box was this one that says freedom, and it's a bird flying. And I just thought this was perfect because we were actually about to leave, right? So Michelle says, I think this is the spirit animal oracle deck. And then I'm not sure which, or was it this one? I think you meant the other one. So those cards have been really cool. I've mentioned to you guys before, I only ever have bought one oracle card deck, and I didn't really connect with it a whole lot. So I want to explore more oracle decks, but for now I just have those like single cards that were sent to me. So I also have several of these things you're going to know are from Aluminum Love because she's one of my favorite kind of witchy shops. But I have this road opening oil, and you can see it has like a bay leaf and some different herbs. It also, if you mix it up, has glitter in it. But a road opening oil can really be, this is something I use a lot when I'm trying to clear blocks and I'm trying to go after my dreams. Like when I'm doing a vision board or anything like that, when I really start to meditate on the vision board, I really will sometimes take the road opening oil and just put it like a little tiny drop in my hands and rub it together and just kind of put it on my heart like this and really think like whatever it is that is, like, let's say a Netflix TV deal, like whoever is out there that might be receptive to turning my Shadow Demon Saga into a TV series that would do a good job with it. I'm just asking the universe to clear the blocks between me and them and to somehow let them discover this series either here on YouTube or, whatever else. And, having that moment of stepping into it and thinking, what would it feel like to have that life, to have no more blocks between that and the dream life that I want to live. So I've got the road opening oil. This is another oil from her that also has different herbs and things in it. This is a money drawing oil. It's a ritual oil. And this is really about financial success and making sure that you keep it coming in. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so you can see it has green glitter in it. And she had her most recent subscription box that I got right before we left on the trip was this money abundance box. And so I have a candle, and this came in that box. Then I also have some divination oil. So sometimes when I am meditating, this one doesn't have anything fancy in it, but sometimes when I'm meditating, I will put a little bit of that divination oil here, like down a line here. And I will think, just send me the messages that I need to hear to help people or to move forward. And, what do I need to see? What do I need to know in order to, make my life better or to make the lives of my followers better or to show up for them, those kind of things. Then I have, this one looks kind of gross, not gross, but it just looks dirty. So this is blessed salt, but it has ocean water in it from Charleston. Before we left, we went to the beach and I got a little bit of ocean water in here. And so we have blessed salt. And every time we move into a new Airbnb, I take just a little bit and I sprinkle it across the doors so that, and just say a spell, like a saying of please protect us while we're in this home, please clear us of any negative energy and just keep us safe. So I sprinkle it around the doors. Then I do have, I won't take this apart, but I do also have kind of every year at the end of each year, I will do I think that's the last thing I'm gonna put this down. At the end of each year on New Year's Eve, I will do a little bit of a ritual to ask for a certain level of success or money or what I want to create in the world for this year. And so I create like a little spell and I have it inside a particular, like a large vase, I would say. And I've been doing that for the last few years, but I couldn't bring it with me. So I was like, what do I do? Because I don't want to break it down. I want to bring it, and I want to continue to do this each year. And so I put it in this little like sachet instead and brought it here and left the vase at home. So it stays also there. I also had another spell. So this one is my one that I'm trying to use to manifest my TV deal. So all of those little things are inside here. Someday it is going to happen. I am bringing this with me for sure. So yeah. So I have also my tarot deck. So I only brought one tarot deck with me, which was hard, I will tell you. I brought this little bag from the Quirky Cup Collective with me to put it inside. So it has the little book with it and I have the tarot deck. So I brought the Light Seers tarot deck and it was so hard to choose which like tarot deck to bring because I have so many that I love and I usually switch them out every month. But this one to me just really resonates. Like, look at this. This is the Page of Swords. And look at that imagery. She's holding a book. All these ideas are swirling around her head and the light bulbs are like, she's holding them out like balloons. Like it is just a cool, I just love this deck. And it's a good, if you're looking for a good kind of like multicultural deck and that has a lot of different representation and stuff, I think you would enjoy this one. It is a really good, it's a beautiful deck. And there's just really beautiful colors in it. I love that it has so much of the like blues and greens and gold colors. It's just a really pretty deck. And I really, really have enjoyed this deck. And it is, for those of you that might be wondering, I've mentioned it before, but this is the Light Seers Tarot. And I find that this book is also really good because it can be kind of hit or miss when you buy a tarot deck, whether the book is really good explanation of the cards. But what I love about this one is that it has a light seer explanation and then it has a shadow seer. So this is kind of like upright and reversed meanings. And then it tells you the meaning of it. And then it also has kind of an affirmation. I am whole. I am more than enough. I shine like the sun when I am happy. And I just really like that because I like to be able to read the card every night or every morning and be able to say the affirmation. And it really brings home the meaning of that card in your life. So it's pretty cool. Summer says, I almost bought that one last week just for the King of Wands. Yeah, that is a super cool card. I really love it. So that obviously does not fit inside my little box, but it fits in my bigger box that the little box goes inside of. So this looks like a lot of, I wish I could pan the camera and show you. I also do have this little beeswax candle that is just a black candle. I have not lit that yet. That goes inside. But all of the crystals that I have sitting right here, all of these that I'm going to show you, these all fit inside this little box, which I know is crazy sounding because there's a lot. So my two largest crystals that I have are the two crystal points that I brought. So one is when I signed up for the Manifestation Babe Academy that I told you guys about, she sent this out and it's this beautiful, just clear quartz. And one of the things that's cool about clear quartz is that it's a clear stone. And you can really charge, so to speak, charge this up with whatever you want it to mean. It will take on the energy or the meaning that you want it to take on. So if you really are wanting to give yourself better creative energy, then you can charge this up by like holding it close to your heart, by meditating or chanting on it, and putting that energy toward it. You can even set it close to a candle that has a certain meaning and let it soak up that energy. You can put it out in the moonlight with a specific intention, but you can give it that like meaning that you want it to have for the moment. And I think that is kind of cool because it's a very versatile stone. Then I also have this one that is, yes, and it will charge other crystals as well. And I don't have a selenite plate, but I have a selenite stack. I mean, I don't know. It's not exactly a point, but I have this, and you can also charge other crystals with this as well, being another clear stone. It will pull negative energies out, but it can also, like, if you set other crystals near it, it can help to like charge them up. But I have this beautiful rose quartz. I love rose quartz. Not only is it pink, which, I mean, I love I love pink, but it also really, for me, stands so much for self-love and confidence and just giving yourself grace, and like it's a reminder. So I keep this a lot on the bathroom counter when I am getting ready and stuff, because I know that sometimes it's that moment when you step out of the shower and you're naked and you're like judging yourself for every little thing. I like to be able to see this and say, I love myself just as I am. I love my body. I appreciate my body. I appreciate myself. So I will keep this near the shower or the mirror so that when I'm looking at myself, I remember to be kind and to love myself just as I am. So another little thing that I have here is just a little piece of cinnamon. And of course, you can get cinnamon sticks like at the grocery store if you want to, but this is something that I use in manifestation. So I will sometimes use this. I've got a little bit left of it. I also have many little pieces here that I have put around in different places, including inside the car, of obsidian. And obsidian is like, I guess, like lava rock, basically a tumbled, hardened lava, I guess, is what obsidian is. But I don't fully know how you tell the difference between obsidian and black tourmaline. I was really wanted a black tourmaline to go in the car because a lot of people were telling me that this is like a worry stone here, that if you put black obsidian or black tourmaline in your car, that it's supposed to help you be safe. And we're going to be driving so much. I really want that protective energy. And I think that obsidian can be protective energy just as much as black tourmaline, but I was reading that tourmaline is stronger. So I do have one piece of what I think is black tourmaline in the car, but I'm pretty sure all the rest of these are black obsidian, because I think that tourmaline will often have a shinier, like a silverier surface, and maybe be slightly transparent, just like the very slightest. But if anybody knows better, let me know. So the cinnamon is used for manifestation. At least that's how I use it. So when I'm trying to manifest a goal, like you can see every time when I do, you can see the little cinnamon stick in here. When I do a spell to try to bring in abundance or more money, or I'm trying to hit a specific goal, because there's another little cinnamon stick inside here for the TV deal. So I use it for manifesting, just like amplifies that manifestation. So I have several pieces of this. So I like to put it in everybody's bedroom for protective energy. Then another thing, this one I have to be careful with when I leave it out, because Evie wants to put it in her mouth. Like she thinks it's like candy or something, but it does have a little stand to it, which I think is super cute. It's like a little, I don't know, like a little crystal ball. But this really pretty, it's just a clear smoky quartz. And I do also have a smoky quartz bracelet like this that I will wear a lot of times. And smoky quartz is often something that is very grounding. So it can really ground your energy. And this is something that I need a lot. If you ever find that you are the type of person who you tend to get like on a hamster wheel sometimes in your mind, and your mind is just going a million miles a minute. For me, a lot of times what that happens with is social media. And I think this is something a lot of people deal with. Please tell me I am not alone. But I have this problem sometimes where I will be on Facebook and I'll look through all of the different like groups and checking in on everybody, and I'll close Facebook, and then I'll open Instagram and I'll go through my Instagram notifications, and then I'll open Facebook again. And I can be stuck there even though my like family's out in the pool having fun. And it's this like addictive sort of mind on a hamster wheel. And if I somehow get into a place too where I'm start comparing myself to other people or start looking at what they're doing or whatever, I will start thinking about different ideas that I should have, and I should really be doing this. And my mind just goes bing, 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 bing. And I find that smoky quartz. So I will put on that bracelet. I have several grounding stones, but I feel like smoky quartz is one of the better one for me. And I did have a bracelet. So at least I'm not the only one. Thank you guys. But I'm sorry that you deal with this too. But I did have a necklace that was smoky quartz and it broke and I want a new one, but I do have a bracelet too, because I like to wear it. And I do find that this helps to have beside my bed because it will help me sleep. It helps me ground my energy both in the morning and at night. And it also helps to get rid of bad dreams. So when Andrew was having some problems with some bad dreams and nightmares, which I also strangely enough went through when I was around his age, like 8 years old, we put smoky quartz inside his pillowcase, and that really did seem to help a lot. So smoky quartz for grounding. It can also be something that will help you learn to rise above challenges and comparison and different things like that. So bye, Christabelle. It's good to see you. So I like smoky quartz for that reason. One that is kind of neat that my friend Jen got for me, and I had to write this one down because I couldn't remember exactly what it meant. But this is one that I just recently got. She got this for me from Hawaii when she was there. And this is called Ocean Jasper. And you can see it's got lots of different colors in it. And depending on which piece you get, you can get different colors inside of it. And this is a really cool stone. And this stone stands for bringing yourself into alignment, and which makes sense because of ocean, like in and out, in and out. It says this is about both releasing the past and then moving forward. So you release and then move forward, release and move forward. And it can also be something that helps you move toward resolution in your life, like letting go of negative relationships and different things like that, and finding that like resolution for yourself, like, okay, this is done, I'm going to move on. So this is another good stone for that kind of thing. The stone that I have the most of in terms of the most pieces is green aventurine. So I have all of these little, if I can hold them up without dropping them, all of these little pieces of green aventurine. So this kind of looks like this. It can be a deeper green or it can be this lighter green. But I had gotten like a whole set of them from an Etsy shop that I was following. And I like these because these are really good for protecting your heart and so the stone that was, you mean this one, Tam, for releasing the past and then moving forward? This one is called Ocean Jasper. So the green aventurine not only can be good for manifestation, it can be really good for protecting your heart too. So I like to keep this in terms of like balancing my emotions, keeping my heart protected. Like I mentioned, yes, Ocean Jasper. Like I mentioned before, for some reason, I don't know. We won't go into it too much, but I don't know if it's the fact that I'm on the road or the fact that we're traveling. I don't know exactly what it is, but for some reason, there's been a lot of criticism coming my way, like a lot of really ugly messages and things like that. And I tend to let that stuff get to me a little bit too much. And it was so much easier when I had Janet because I could just let her read stuff and then she just wouldn't forward anything to me that was negative. And one in particular got me last night just because it started off nice. And so I was like reading through, I was like, oh, what a nice email. And then it just turned so nasty very, very quickly. And so I have to really hold on to things like the green aventurine, and I put it all over the house just because it's protective of my heart. It balances out my emotions and helps me to really feel like I'm in control and that I can like protect myself. It's also really good for good luck. And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, feel sorry for me, because it's just a part of being online. And those of you who do put yourselves out there like that, that's what you will see. But people will criticize every little thing that you do and make determinations about you based on things they see or don't see. And it's just really kind of strange. But it's okay. I have way, way, way more positive experiences with like this amazing group and everybody else more than anything. But I do think, and this is something, it's like, do I talk about this or not talk about this? But this, I think, is one reason why I've been recording all of those 6 month for life videos ever since before the beginning of September. So now it's been over a month of footage and it's starting to really add up, but I haven't actually put any vlogs out there. And part of it, I think, is this hesitation of like, the more I show behind the scenes or my family, the more I open myself up to that type of criticism. And it's scary. And so I just had this long session with Tanya today, and her suggestion was to maybe put it behind, but like a Patreon, to where it's like, even if it's just $1, you have to sign up to watch the 6 month for life videos, just because it's like, if somebody's going to pay just to come in and criticize, then that's like a next level. But a lot of people won't pay. And so it will mostly be just, even if it's just for $1 a month, it'll mostly be people that are there that want to see, the behind the scenes. And it's one of those things, because I feel like it really aligns with like what I want to put out in the world, in terms of showing that, you can have really bad, horrible things happen to you. You can have really bad things going on in your life or past trauma, but you can still find your success. But there is no moment where your life becomes perfect, right? Either. So it's just kind of showing the ups and downs of being a creator and who is balancing a life with your children and all of those other things. So I'm not sure exactly, because the thing about going behind Patreon is like, then you don't actually grow or get the message out to anyone outside of your already existing group. And so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I feel like I have a lot of time to sit. I need to take the time to really sit and think. And I've been going so much since we left, that I have taken a bit of a rest this week to some degree, but I really need that like quiet time to sit. And instead of taking the quiet time, I've been having the little monkey mind of this, what needs to get done, all of that kind of stuff. So it's been a challenge. But again, I hesitate to really even talk about it too much, because I know that you guys are not here to hear somebody complain about anything. I want this to stay fun, and I really do want to have a lot of fun this month in particular. Like, I feel like the stuff that's coming up is some of the most joyful, fun times of year. We have Disney coming up. We have this amazing house here. We have all these great things. And I just want to play, I want to play around with decorations. I want to play around with the story. I want to start writing book 12. And I really want to have fun with the community. And let's do some like fun, spooktacular stuff and some giveaways and talk about fun stuff. So I have a lot of fun plans coming. And that's what I want to put out there, is the fun, the community, knowing that you're not alone, knowing that there are so many people that are out there, like, with like-minded, and not even the like-minded, but that we do have a lot of diversity and a lot of different opinions, different ways of doing things here, but everybody respects each other. And that's one of the things that I love about this particular community that has grown up here. So it's a really fun thing. And I want to keep it that way. Somebody mentioned amethyst earlier. So I do have this one. I have so many amethysts. Ridiculous number. And I had to pare it down to like, what's my favorite one? And I love this one because it's like a raw amethyst, kind of a raw one. It's not tumbled and like glassy, or like glossy the same way that like the green aventurine is. It has some rough edges, and I love this stone. So amethyst can be protective too. I saw someone say that they put this in their car, which is another really good use for amethyst, but also this is another good grounding stone. So if you're looking for another stone that will ground your energy, but in a slightly different way, this is a really good stone for that. And yes, so exactly. Renee just said, I keep it close to keep my anxiety at bay. And I feel like that is one of the best parts of having an amethyst around. And this is why I keep it. I often will keep this in my hand when I'm doing any kind of meditation or actually, LA, I'm gonna have to read that. He's over there still working on his schoolwork. This is something, it's also can help with your immunity, which obviously is very important as we're traveling and we're staying as safe as possible, despite what some people may be saying about me on the internet. But this is a really good grounding stone, but that can also help with immunity. And it also can help you make decisions. This is one of those stones that is supposed to it's supposed to help you have that bridge the gap. That's the terminology, bridge the gap between like the human and the divine. And so this is something that can help you tap into your intuition when you're making good decisions and you're trying to really let go of that anxiety, let go of your fear, and make decisions from a better place, like almost like divination. So I will use this divination oil along with the amethyst crystal. Also, I don't know if Timoana is still here, but I believe this is the one she sent to me. She sent me so many amazing things I don't even know. So I also have amethyst because it is so good for decision making. I have this little pendulum thing to help make decisions. I have not used this as much as I wanted to, but I am going to be doing some things in my newer like witchy bullet journal. um, you know, I'm going to be drawing something in and I want to be using that more for making better decisions. So amethyst is a really powerful stone, especially when you're like meditating and you want to feel like you have control over your life and stuff like that. I'm looking at the time. I'm like, I'm not going to get through all of these, but that's okay. If we don't get through all of them, we can keep going through them. I saw somebody mention Labradorite. So this is my Hello Kitty Labradorite. And I just love her so much. She has a nice like flashing to her and she just makes me very happy. So this stone is another one that can help to calm your mind and to be protective. It can also help to restore you. So if you're having, sometimes I will lay down and I will put this either on my heart or I will just put it on my head. If I'm feeling like I have just given so much, like yesterday was a day like this for me because, I spent from like 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. last night working almost nonstop on the Preptober workbook, which I just had it printed at Staples. So as soon as we're done with this, we're all going out. We're going to grab that at Staples and we're going to go out to dinner. So if you are planning to participate in NaNoWriMo, definitely go grab my Preptober workbook. It's like 45 pages of workbook, but I finished that workbook. I got a whole new video up. I did all these things yesterday, but I was working so hard and I just felt completely like drained. And I wish that you guys could really see, there's so much like blue flashing in this, but it just isn't quite catching the light the same way it does in person, but it's almost looks, oh, there you can kind of see it a little bit better. It almost looks like blue in some light. I don't know. It's hard to show it. But I needed that like time. So I put my phone down, went into the hot tub with Andrew and George because Evie was already asleep. And then afterward, I just lay down with this Labradorite on my head of like, okay, it's a restorative. It's going to bring me back, right? She does look like she glows from within. It's pretty cool. So confidence, was it Tam asked about confidence. So I have a lot of stones that help with confidence. Some of them are the ones that are on my wrist here. So this one is carnelian, which is kind of a fiery stone. And you can see this little, I need to cut that. But I have carnelian in a couple of different ways. I have a carnelian point, just a tiny little carnelian point. I also have a tumbled carnelian that looks like this. And then I have a bracelet that is the carnelian. And you can see from here that it can really show up in like different colors. It can be a bright orange and it can also have like a yellowish or milky tint to it. This is a good one for confidence. It's also a good one for like passion and ideas. So whenever I'm writing, I like to wear the carnelian because it gets me, I feel like it amplifies that feeling of being really excited for, yeah. So Evelyn says it's supposed to be good for courage, confidence, and creativity. And it's that the passion and the fiery ideas, that's where the creativity comes from. And I feel like this is a very supportive stone when it comes out for that. Another thing that I got to help with confidence, which also helps with that, with your different chakra healing and stuff like that. This is something that Tanya had talked to me, which is sunstone. So this is a sunstone bracelet. And then I also have a rose quartz bracelet, and I like to wear these. I do have a garnet bracelet as well and a garnet ring, because it's my birthstone. And so I feel like if you wear your birthstone, a lot of times I feel like it can help you like step into your true self. But I do feel like carnelian is a really good like creative stone. Another stone that is good for creativity is fluorite, because this is one that can help you get clarity. So it just like brings out your confidence, brings out your clarity, and it helps you to focus your ideas. And so that's why I have this in a point. This is yet another gift from my beautiful friend, Jen. And she is just like such a little angel to me. I love her. But you can see in this particular one, it has like that little bit of purple. So this can have like greens and purples, and it can have a lot of different types of energy to it. Another one for confidence is orange calcite. This is one that's really good for success. So if you are looking to manifest like success in your life, you are writing your book and you want to get that like level of confidence and putting yourself out there and really finding success, this is a good stone to have, is orange calcite. So all of these kind of orange ones. Uh-oh. There's a baby. What you doing? You want to say hi?
On that one.
Oh, she wants all the stones. This is going to be a hard time for her. I have a amethyst point here as well. I'm almost done with these, but I also have pyrite or fool's gold. I have it in a sphere, and then I also have it in some of these little tiny ones. This is another thing that I will use to help manifest confidence and success for myself. I feel like this is also really protective, and they say can help with the immune system. So I've kept this in our living room for us. So amazingly enough, all of those crystals, including, so I have this one, which is a chocolate calcite, and I cannot remember what this one does, but this came out of one of those candles. And then the one, like, I'm not sure what this is. So it's just like white, but it's not selenite. It's like not that same, it's a tumbled stone, but it's white, but it's not clear quartz. So what else is white like this? Is it just white quartz? Is that a thing? Somebody tell me. It's just white. This, the sphere looked like the Death Star. It did. And it's like so pocked because it's like, I don't know. It's funny. But I'm not sure what this is. This came out of my most recent candle. And I'm like, what is just a white milky stone? I'm not sure. Like Taryn said, sometimes certain stones react differently. So, you know, if you get a chance, if you're in an area where it's safe or you are able to go to a local shop, sometimes it can actually help. Oh, I wonder if it is moonstone. So white quartz is a thing. Okay. But it could be, quartzite too. I'm going to have to go look this up. I'm going to go look up some pictures. It has a little bit of transparency to it. I'm not sure if you can see that kind of streaking there. We're going to pass through New Orleans just specifically because I really wanted to go to some of the witchier like shops there in New Orleans. So we're definitely going there if I get a chance to. And I feel like sometimes it can help you to actually sit with a stone and hold it in your hand. But I know that has been more challenging because of the state of the world right now. This one I also have, and I was wondering, this is tumbled, but I'm not sure if this is also orange calcite or if this is sunstone or anything. I'm just not 100% sure what this is. I don't know. Oh, Timoana says, I want to move back to New Orleans. I did not know that's where you lived. If I go to New Orleans, I will definitely vlog it. I definitely will. Also, I think some people mentioned citrine. So this is like a raw little citrine here. And I also keep this for confidence and for, let's see. I wrote down certain notes so that I wouldn't forget. Oh, yes, yes. So this one, citrine can be a stone for abundance too. So this could be citrine also. It's similar. I don't know, because I know some of these stones, it depends on which piece of it you get. This is definitely carnelian, but I'm not sure what this is. To me, the color looks so similar to my orange calcite that it looks like maybe it could be that, but just in a tumbled version of it. So I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it could be tumbled citrine too. Oh, hematite bracelet. I do not have any hematite, I don't think. I know I have pyrite, but I don't know if I have hematite. But that is most of my crystals and my like witchier things. I also brought feathers with me. These are a gift from one of my friends. But these I will often use in some of the like smoke ceremonies and different things that I do, as well as like sending my dreams up. And also this represents air. So if I'm doing like casting a circle, I will use that. So there's those things. I know too, if I can find my phone, that I did have a couple of questions, but not many. Oh, honey calcite. Interesting. Jenna asks, are the raw crystals more powerful? Who can answer this for me? I find that they do have a different energy to them, because in some ways it feels like you're getting more to the root of the crystal. So that's why I in particular really like this amethyst, because it has more like edges that are raw to it, but I don't know that they're more powerful. I think they might just be powerful in a different way. But I don't know. If anybody knows, I am definitely not an expert. I'm just still learning myself as well. So there were a couple of questions. One was from Kamika, says, do you write any fiction just for yourself? Are there many short stories or novels that you haven't published? And I do have several things that I have written. Usually it's not because it's just for me. It's just because it's not ready yet. So I don't typically write things just for myself unless I'm writing journal type entries or writing through my thoughts. But there are a lot of things, I would say more than 10 things that I have that are in pieces of being finished, that someday I would love to publish, but it's just not there yet. It's not ready for consumption yet. But I do love the idea of writing something just for yourself. So I think so often we feel like everything has to be like monetized or a career, which isn't true. Jude says, can you use a lyric from a song for a book title or for chapter titles? And yes, you can. So book like titles are not copyrightable. If someone were to trademark something, that would be something that would be protected. Like if I wanted to trademark Shadow Demon Saga, then maybe someone else couldn't use it, but you can't copyright song titles. So you will see there being song titles used for book titles or chapter titles. But what you can't do is you can't use lyrics from the song in your own, like you can use like a small piece will be considered fair use if it was just like a piece of a lyric or like a single couple of words or a phrase. But if you write down an entire like verse of a song or something, you're going to get into big trouble. So it's just that fair use of like just using just that like little snippet of something. But you can use song titles or you can use little like phrases, and that's fine. I saw this question come twice. Sorry, Katrina, I didn't answer it before. Have you ever merged your plotting pages with Save the Cat beats? And if so, how did it go? I have not, but I read Save the Cat several years ago, like years and years and years ago, like back probably before I started even really knowing how to plot. And it didn't fully connect with me. But I do know that since then there is Save the Cat Writes a Novel, and I bought that, but I did not get a chance to actually read it yet, and it went into storage. So I have never fully found that plot method works for me 100%. So I haven't tried to merge it with the things that I'm using, but I am always looking for better ways to plot, because I don't feel like any one system is like the be all end all. They all kind of play off of each other and they all draw from each other. So that's a really interesting idea. If you try it, let me know how it goes for sure. Because my plotting pages are definitely a amalgamation of like 7 or 8 different methods, and they're just the pieces of it that I felt resonated most for me. So definitely not going to work for everybody, but hopefully it's a good starting point for you. So Taryn is definitely our guru here today. Stones tumbled might work for you better than raw, but it's so dependent on how you react to the stones and what your intentions are. I love that. Have you ever considered creating a pen name and releasing other works, but not telling anyone? So I do actually have a single book that is published under a pen name that I was planning to make a series. I had all the series covers done for it, but I just never published the rest. And there's literally only like one person in my entire Coven community that knows and has read that book. But what was funny is like out of the millions of books on Amazon, like how many books are on Amazon? I had, well, and it's available everywhere, but this is where they grabbed it, was Amazon. Is I had a fellow author who messaged me and was like, "Is this your book?" And I was like, "What? How do you know about that book?" And she was like, "I just recognized your writing style." And it's a similar thing that happened to Stephen King, right? His publisher told him that we don't want you to saturate the market. So we're not going to publish more books than just like one book a year. And so he decided to publish under a pen name, Richard Bachman. And it was kind of an experiment for him. He talks about this in his book on writing, and too many readers outed him. They were like, "This has to be Stephen King." And so it wasn't very long before they realized it was him. So that might be one of the reasons that I sort of backed off from it. But I have considered publishing, like I've told you guys before, that psychological thriller that I was working on, and I may still do that, and I will probably publish it under a pen name, but I will be open about who that is. I just want to make sure there's some separation because the genres are so different, and not everybody who likes my YA fantasy stuff will enjoy that. I think there was one question in the Coven, and I hate not to bring it up, but it was something very easy, I think, to mention. Let me see if I can pull it up before we go. Only one comment, only one question. We're running out of questions. Where'd it go? My Facebook is not updating fast enough. Yes, one question. Megan said, "What is your favorite Halloween costume or tradition with the family?" That is a good one to end on, I think. So my favorite Halloween costume that I've ever worn, or I don't know. One year when I was little, I have this picture of me when I was really super little, and I wore my ballet kind of outfit, my ballerina outfit, and my mom put just a drawing of a tooth on there, and I was the tooth fairy. And that, I need to see if I can find that photo, because that's like one of my favorite memories from being like 4 or 5 years old, was being the tooth fairy. And it was just such a cute little, I don't know. I look so like I remember very briefly, like little snippets of that night. Because I remember feeling like I looked so beautiful, and it's like funny because when I look back at the pictures, it's like just my typical ballet costume that I wore to like a dozen performances, just with a picture of a colored tooth on it, which is kind of funny. But that was like one of my favorites of all time. We will be at Disney World on Halloween Day. And so I've been thinking about, do we want to try to go out and have the 4 of us dressed as something together? In terms of family traditions, I don't know exactly what would be my like favorite family tradition, but I think so far some of my favorite, look at this baby, her hair is growing out so much. So far, I think some of my favorite, she tried to close this drawer, family tradition time has just been sitting down to watch movies together, because there's so much joy and fun that comes from sharing those things with Andrew. And it'll be fun to share that stuff with Evie too. Also, one of my favorite family traditions is reading to the kids. And I think that, that is one of the biggest things. It was so funny, you guys, because I went to Target the other night to get some stuff as like rewards for Andrew, and all of Evie's books are like the same books we've been reading for a month, and we wanted to switch some things out. So I went and I just bought, there wasn't a Barnes and Noble nearby, so I just went to Target and I bought a ton of books. And the guy in the checkout was like, "I'm really proud of you." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because people buy all kinds of stuff for their kids, but you're the first person in a long time that's just bought nothing but books. And I just wanted you to know I'm really proud of you." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, if you only knew how many books we have in our family." So, all right, you guys, we are over time, but I am so, so happy that you guys are here. I was so excited to be able to have an actual live with you guys. I know that it's a little bit different to do the premieres, but I do feel like it's working out pretty well. And I still am enjoying chatting with you guys, but feel free to send feedback on whether you're liking it or it's just not as much fun. We are moving on to episode 15. Is that right? 15 on Monday. So we'll do 15 and 16 next week. And we are we're getting there. By the end of October, we will be in the last of the of the book. And the very final episode, I will go live that day. So that will be the Wednesday before Halloween. That will be the final reading, will be the live stream. So I'm looking forward to that. So thank you so much for saying such kind things, Writer on Wheels. I just love that because it's the highlight of my week too. And I'm grateful every single day for all of you guys. Thank you for sort of revisiting all my little witchy things with me. And if you want to share any of your favorite crystals in the Coven or the Discord, feel free to do that. And I will see you guys on Monday for the premiere. Have an awesome weekend. Sending you love. All right. Bye. Evie, you want to say bye? Bye. Bye, you guys.